Hi, I'm Dr. Lara and welcome to another video of Q&A with the angels. So if you're new here, people send in their questions, they write them down below in the comments, and then I check in with the angels and I see what they have to say. So here we go. One of the first questions, I have a few, so if you haven't already, get some tea or something and settle in. The first one is about spiritual bypassing. This person was concerned about using spiritual practices to avoid difficult emotions, psychological wounds, or perhaps offering a simple spiritual solution to a difficult human situation or suffering. So that's the definition of spiritual bypassing. For example, if you're feeling upset about something and the phrase everything happens for a reason, and then you're just supposed to accept, well, everything happens for a reason and not work through all of the emotions that go along with it. So this person was just kind of curious about what the angels have to say about that. So there seems to be, okay, with anything, they're showing me kindergarten, which is interesting. They're showing me like a school with all of these grades, and they're showing me kindergarten. And what's going on right now on the planet is there's a lot of people that are seeking other forms of wisdom. So they're looking towards spiritual practices. They're looking outside of religion for their answers. And there's a lot of phrases that happen in the spiritual community of everything happens for a reason. And what they're saying is that we're all kindergartners right now because we're learning new concepts. So the basic thing they want you to know is that you are doing the best that you can. They see that we're all doing the best that we can, whether we're spiritual bypassing or we're numbing ourselves out for not wanting to feel something, or we are feeling everything and we're a mess, okay? That's all divine. It's all the way it needs to be. So what they really want to say about this is there's no right or wrong way to move through this ascension process. You may have people that you listen to and you may get words of wisdom from them, but ultimately you have to decide what's working for you. So if you think that you're spiritually bypassing something and you're not feeling your emotions, chances are that you're not feeling your emotions and you're spiritually bypassing something. You intuitively know where you are on your path. The angels, but they just want to say that go easy on yourself. You're learning, and to just understand that whatever you do is good enough. And you are good enough. What you do is good enough, and it's okay. Sometimes we need these little phrases like everything happens for a reason to not think so much, to not go so deep and mull over everything. And they're showing me like the thinking process, that's what gets us stuck in all of this stuff that's coming up. If we can just honor our emotions without having to put a label to it or having to put a judgment to it, and we just allow ourselves to move through whatever we're feeling and not have to think about it so much, we can move through it a little bit easier. Okay, and that's not spiritual bypassing. That is allowing yourself to feel the emotions but not having to overthink everything. Solutions don't come by overthinking. If you really look at it, solutions come when you're not thinking about something. They come in a dream. They come when you're in the shower. They come maybe when you're singing. The answers come when you're drawing. Like that's when the answers come. You don't have to figure anything out. The answers are already there. We just have to be quiet enough to hear what they are. I hope that answers your question. Okay, the next one is, as we raise our vibration, will we automatically begin to see, sense, feel all those that have passed over? Okay. There are people now that are able to sense people that have passed over? So the answer to this question is yes. The more you raise your vibration, the more you learn about your psychic abilities, the more you trust your intuition, the more your perceptions are going to open up, the more sensitive your energies are going to be, and you are going to be able to connect with souls that have passed on. It's not like they're far away, they're just in a different frequency. Their soul is still around. There's still a consciousness. So when your awareness or your consciousness grows bigger and bigger and you get more sensitive to things, you start trusting your intuition, you're going to be able to start connecting with those loved ones that have passed on. And you're not going to need someone else to do it for you. But by all means, if you're not able to do it yet and you want to connect with someone that has passed on, you can ask someone to help you with that or to connect with that person, but eventually you will be able to do it. And if you have a desire to do that, that desire goes out into the universe, and then the universe is like, well, here, this is how you can do it. So if that's something that you want to do, be open to solutions on how you can build that muscle so you're able to connect with people that have passed on. Good question. Thank you. Okay. This person, she wanted to know if her spirit guides and angels were proud of her. And I don't do like personal questions for people, but I thought that this was a good question because I'm sure many people think that, wonder if their spirit guides and angels are proud of them. So I'm going to see what the angels have to say about that. So wondering if someone is proud of you, that is, it's an ego-based belief that you're looking outside of yourself for someone to tell you that you're doing well, that you're doing okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're human. That's what we do. What the angels want to say to that is that they don't dwell in that domain of, well, she's doing a good job, we're so proud of you, because they come from a place of unconditional love. So they love you no matter what. It's not about being proud of you. It's about loving you no matter what. So you don't have to do anything for the angels or your spirit guides to be proud of you, because in their eyes you're perfect. You just are divine, loving, pure energy, and there's nothing that you have to do in order for them to be proud of you. So, and they're asking the question for you, am I proud of myself? Am I proud of what I'm doing? And how much do I love myself? Am I judging myself? Can I love myself unconditionally no matter what I'm doing or not doing? So the answer is they love you unconditionally. That's a nice question. Nice question. Okay, next one. Okay, when I stand in my light, I feel such great energy, drawing unwanted attention. Is our inner light attracting unwanted attention? Okay, this is a good one. Okay, so they're showing me a bug zapper with this one. So when the light gets bright at night, the bugs come out and they get zapped because they're attracted to the light. So the more we shine our light, the more people want it. So if you don't feel like you're protecting yourself, you're going to be allowing all of these people into your life, unwanted attention. If there's unwanted attention coming to you, that's probably a lesson. Like, why am I attracting this type of attention to myself? And what belief do I have about that? So it's not about like pushing everything out and just standing in your light and not having, people come in and pay attention to you or try and suck your energy. It's learning how to work with this new way of being, because the more that you shine your light, the more that you speak your truth, a couple things happen. People come into your experience that don't like it, and they get upset with you and they try to dim your light. And then there's other people that want your light and try to suck it from you. But then the good thing is that the more that you stand in your truth and you are your authentic self, those people that vibrate at that same level will find you. So you have the opportunity to have more loving relationships, more fulfilling relationships, more authentic relationships. So there's a whole lot of stuff to unpack with shining your light. So the message that they want to tell you is to keep shining your light. And even though this attention is coming to you, if you see if it's a lesson, but the more you continue to shine your light, the bigger and bigger you get, a lot of these things are going to fall away, because you're going to be able to have these energetic boundaries. And you're going to be able to walk in your light and in your joy without being affected by them so much, because it's not really going to matter anymore. But it is a process. Okay, that's a good question. All right. Let's see. With ascension in our minds and hearts, how can there be two breeds of... Okay, so this was a question here about ascension. So this person was confused, because on one train of thought, some people are saying that the ascension is in our minds, in our hearts. It's not a place, it's a consciousness. And then they're hearing other people say the new earth, there's new colors, there's new plants, there's new animals. So they're confused. It's like it can't be both. How can it be a consciousness and then people are talking about a place? Okay. Let's see what the angels have to say about that. So they're showing me a scale, and it's like this. It's not like this. There's not one right answer. There's not one wrong answer. They're both right. Okay. So what they're showing me is that, yes, the 5D consciousness, it is a consciousness. It is an awareness. It is a perception. Okay. And when we shed these layers of ourselves that aren't in our highest good, we shed the self-doubt, we shed the lack and the limitation, we shed all of the stuff that we don't need anymore, what happens is our consciousness expands, and so does our perception, and so do our beliefs, and so does our awareness. So with that awareness that is expanding, it would make sense that we would experience new things in our lives, things that we haven't seen before, things that we haven't experienced before, because our limited perception only allowed us to see so much. So as our awareness grows, we are going to be experiencing different things, and we're going to be seeing different things, whether it's the colors or new, whatever it is. It's going to be an individual perception, was what they're saying right now, because each person is on a different path, or not a different path, but a different space in their path. And we're all going to the same space eventually. But the thing is that even that space, that's not the end. We are constantly expanding and growing, expanding and growing. So they would just invite us all to kind of get out of our heads, to stop trying to figure everything out, and live more from our heart space. So there's no right or wrong, there's no confusion, it just is. And the more that you focus on yourself, of shedding these layers you no longer need, of opening yourself up to new consciousnesses, new perspectives, new belief structures, then things are going to change for you, and you are going to see different things. So they are both right, and they do coincide with one another. That's interesting. Thank you for that. Okay. So this person was asking, can we communicate with animals? They were on their way to work and noticed a couple birds, and they were communicating with the birds, but she was kind of wondering, did I really communicate with the birds? So let's see what the angels have to say about that. So they want you to understand that everything is consciousness. Everything. Animals, they have a certain consciousness. Trees have a certain consciousness. Stones have a consciousness. The water, the clouds, the rain, everything. Everything is consciousness, and we're all connected on some level, some quantum physics level. We are all connected. So it would make sense that if you are conversing with a bird, that you are hearing what it is they're saying, because you're connecting with their consciousness. And they're showing me trees. Like, you can go up to a tree and you can put your hand on the tree and you can ask the tree for wisdom, and it can give you a message, because it's the living organism. And that's where we are headed, is understanding that we are not separate from nature. We are not separate from the planet. We are all the same organism, and we are connected energetically, and we are understanding that more and more. Like, there's some people that are horse whisperers, or the dog whisperer. They can speak to animals, and it's not limited to horses and dogs and cats. It's all animals. So yes, if you are having a conversation with birds, trust it. Okay, they have a lot of wisdom as well. The birds they're almost, some of them are like from a different frequency, and they're holding the space for us to get up to that space, to get up to that frequency. So yes, they're showing me, like, as they're singing their song, the notes are coming out, but then they're being translated into words so that we can understand it. That's really interesting. Okay, good question. Okay. This person said that they were attracted to a specific color, like sage green, and they were wondering if that's the essence of their color, or if they need that color. They're showing me this. Just go with the flow. If you feel like wearing green, wear green. If you feel like wearing orange, wear orange. If you feel like wearing red, wear red. And once again, the message here is you're attracted to certain things because you need it, because green is very grounding. But they're just saying, get out of your head. Get out of your head about thinking so much about everything. It's great to ponder things, but it's also, it feels like the green, it feels like for this person, you need to get grounded into your body, onto the planet, and be here on the planet, and be present in your day-to-day activities, because it feels like you're up here with this thinking and all this kind of stuff, and it's kind of taking you away from things that need to be looked at. Okay, I guess that was a personal question, but that's okay. I guess if you guys want to do personal questions, I can start doing that. Why not? Okay. If we think of anyone dead or alive, are they aware of that, and how might it affect them? And can we keep our own energy separate from another person? Okay. All right, so they want to start with people that have passed on. So obviously when someone has passed on, we grieve them. We want them to be here, to be in the physical form, because we miss them. Because grief is love that doesn't have a place to go. Okay, so it's normal to grieve someone that has passed on. And they're not saying that there's a certain timeline where you should stop the grief, because everybody's different. The intensity is different. Every person is different. But what happens when we continue to grieve somebody like years and years and years, it tethers them to this planet. It keeps them here where they could be going on and doing something different. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you can't ever connect with them, but when you are holding that grief in your heart, there's like, they're showing me, there's like this tugging, this cord where you just can't let go, and they feel the need to be here, so they can't really move on either. Okay. Now, as far as other people's energies, yes, you can feel other people's energies. You can walk into a room, and if your light is shining, they can all just go and they can suck your energy, or they can go whoop and they can dump their energy on you. So yes, that is very much a real thing. And they're just saying, learn techniques on how to cut cords, learn techniques on how to have spiritual boundaries, and to do salt scrub cleansing in the shower, or to take baths to help cleanse your energy. And you can do that with an intention. Like you can ask the angels to come in and cut cords. You can walk into nature. You can ask nature to help you rid of any energy that's not yours. But yes, that is a very real thing. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This one says, if I'm focusing thoughts on anything, what is that thing's experience, and does it have a consciousness? Okay. So if you're focusing, yes. Okay. If you're focusing on something, it does have a consciousness. This kind of piggybacks that other question. Everything is consciousness. Everything. And whatever you focus your thoughts on, that's going to grow. And they're showing me money. Okay. So if you have a belief in lack and limitation, I'm broke, I don't have any money, all that stuff, if you keep focusing on that, guess what? You're not going to have any money. But if you focus on what you have today, and you see the abundance that's in your life now, and you have gratitude for it, and you focus your thoughts on that, your money is going to grow. And it's the same with anything. It's the same with love and relationships. It's the same with your health. It's the same with your experiences. If you think that relationships suck, and you don't shift your belief about that, you don't shift your belief about yourself, about relationships and how you are in relationships, or how the other people are, you're going to continue to experience the same thing. So, wherever your attention goes, energy flows, and then things come about, whatever it is you're focusing on. So that's why, the angels are encouraging us to have better thoughts about ourselves and about the planet and about other people, because the more you focus on like what's bad in the world, you're going to get more evidence of what is bad in the world. So we're not victims of our circumstance. The universal consciousness just wants to express itself through you. There's no judgment about it. So if you have a belief that the world is horrible, the universe is like, okay, she has a belief the world is horrible, and that goes out. So what happens? You get all this evidence that the world is horrible. But if you focus on good things that are happening in the world, and you have this belief that we are moving into a better place and there's already good things happening on the planet, and you really hold and truly embody that belief, then the universe is like, okay, well, this person believes this, so this is how I'm going to express myself through her. And you're going to see better things on the planet. And you're going to see good in people. You're going to see new inventions that are happening. You're going to see the good. There's a lot of good happening on this planet. And if you're not seeing that, question yourself of what it is you're putting into your consciousness. Are you still buying into the narrative? Are you still reading those headlines? Are you still watching the news? Are you getting into the fear of all the stuff that they're putting into us? Or have you separated yourself from that? Are you doing things of self-care? Are you looking for evidence that we're on the right track, that life is good? So whatever is happening in your life, whatever you're experiencing, is a direct result of your thoughts and your consciousness and where you are focusing your attention. So, thank you for all those questions. Those are the questions for today. If you have any more, just put them in the comments and I'll get to them in a couple weeks. So, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Many blessings.